Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light.
Good afternoon and warm welcome to Honorable Principal Ma'am Dr. Abhilasha Gautam, our resource person Dr. Kavitha Karun Ma'am, respected faculty members and all my batchmates. I, Vijay Singh, along with my co-host Amisha Rawat, are here to welcome you all on behalf of Army Institute of Education on the 6th day of Student Faculty Development Program.
Your mental health is everything. You don't have to be positive all the time. It's perfectly okay to feel sad, angry, annoyed, frustrated, scared, and anxious. Having feelings doesn't make you a negative person, it only makes you merely a human being.
Let us begin the webinar with a brief introduction of our ma'am. Dr. Kavitha Karun ma'am has been working in a field of education and teaching education more than 16 years. She has experience in both graduate and postgraduate levels. She has worked with the capacity of assistant professor at National College for Teacher Education for 11 years and at Army Institute of Education for the 6 years. She has done her PhD in education from School of Pedagogical Sciences, Mahatma Gandhi University, Kottayam, MAd from Regional Institute of Education, an MPhil from an Alappa University, MSc Psychology from Madras University, MA in Politics from International Relations from School of International Relations, Mahatma Gandhi University.
Dr. Karun ma'am has published her articles in national, international, and international journals, contributed chapters in many books, co-edited books. Presently, Dr. Karun ma'am is working as the principal of Smita Patil Public School, Maharashtra.
Now, I would like to invite Dr. Kavitha Garunan ma'am for a valuable insight with us.
Thank you, Vijay, and thank you, Mahak, for giving such an introduction. And I would like to express my gratitude to the management of Army Institute of Education and respected Principal Ma'am Dr. Abhilasha Gautam for considering me for the session. And Juhi Ma'am must have given a thought to Ma'am regarding calling me. So I must be thankful and I express my gratitude. So when I got this opportunity, uh, I thought, anyway, I will do it. Whatever the busy schedule, because this is vacation for my school teachers, I am only here. Then also I thought I will do. So today the session was already scheduled for 2 p.m. But unexpectedly, some official and other aspects also has come across me. So then also I thought I will communicate my inconvenience to start the session by 2 p.m. I will request to start by 3 p.m. Why I have done in this way? I asked a question to me, what was the intention behind taking the session if it was not possible for me to start on time, requesting the principal and the teacher coordinator to have arranged another time. So I found an answer for this one because the today's topic only, I'm connected to this organization. I am connected to the institution. I am connected to the personnel of this institution. I am connected to the students of this institution. And whatever ethos are there with the institution, I am connected with Army Institute of Education. So that connectedness made me to seek out an alternative for whatever difficulties that I am facing or whatever problems that might have come across when I have tried to take a session. And in today's life, we can see that many times not only children, even adults, they lack this connectedness. If we are connected, if we are connecting with others, we will have many ways to do the things. We will find out alternative ways to complete my commitment to oneself and to the society. The forcing factor behind that is that connectedness that we will be having with the world around us. So let me start with my presentation. Is it required to convert the slide to Google slide to present?
No, I think, ma'am. Or you can, if you just do your screen sharing, then you can directly will be able to see that presentation. From present, the icon you can go to screen share and to general.
Yeah, it is. Is it visible? My screen?
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Now we can see it.
Okay. Am I
Yes, ma'am.
audible perfectly? Yeah. So this is the normal thing that you can see, or that we can see if we do a party or if we travel somewhere. Even if we are surrounded by many persons, we are totally disconnected from others. And the present generation, the major problem the present generation that they face is distractibility. That means they are distracted from the goals, they are distracted from the main purpose of their life, and loneliness, a created loneliness. Yesterday in the session that Miss Juhi ma'am was taking, ma'am was telling about how a person can be lonely irrespective of surrounded by people. It is not alone, it is loneliness the person is creating, then negative self-talk, then depression, loss of meaning and purpose of life. The person is not finding out any purpose for one's own life. And here we can see what are the pillars of a healthy mind. The well-being will happen when all the aspect like that, body, mind, spirit are healthy. When all these three things work together, they are in a harmonic condition, then we can say that the person is in a condition of well-being. So what are the factors that are ensuring the well-being of a person? That is awareness about oneself, awareness about the environment or the world in which we live, connectedness that we will discuss later, then insight into the aspect in which we are involved, what to do next, that we will get only through the insight. Then finding out a purpose. Here in this moment my purpose is to take a session. Here in this moment your purpose is to attend the session. If we are not finding out purpose for each and every moment in our life, there we can find out that some unhealthy aspects are there in our mental health. And this loneliness, it is not from having no one around us, but it is the inability of a person to communicate with the things that are surrounding. This is the famous quotation by Carl Jung. And connectedness, we can see, it is the way in which or the degree of activity and positively when we connect or affect the individuals, direct towards people, places and things. We are surrounded with many things, our world is surrounded with many things. People are there, places are there, things are there, activities are there. When we deliberately take action to connect with that, when we initiate for action, when we perceive that these things are existing around us, then we can call us, yes, we are connected. But recently some studies were there, particularly this connectedness based studies started, in which the students, particularly adolescent students, were vulnerable to the risk behavior. So those who have taken this risk behavior like criminal activity, then consuming the drugs and engaging in unsafe sexual activity, the research studies done among the students, the finding was these people were totally disconnected from the world around them. They were not connected. And again, studies happened during pandemic and after pandemic also under UNICEF. And it is found that those children or those adults could manage the traumatic conditions that they were facing. The result was they were connected with the world around them. And recently, the war affected countries, there also the connectedness based studies done, and the finding was if a person is finding oneself connected with the world, they could manage whatever traumatic or whatever disappointment is happening with an individual or with the self, they could manage that conditions. So here I thought, when I am interacting with the prospective teachers, when I am interacting with the persons, those who are connected with the education, this connectedness must be a topic to ensure the well-being. Why? We know the children spare time mostly with the teachers in school, and the teachers have major role in guiding or counseling the parents if they fail in establishing the connectedness. And we can see many documents that are suggested by CBSE and NCRT recently. Some observation schedules are there. These observation schedules are giving many options of the children, those who are not connected with the persons around them, the persons, those who are sitting in their class, the activities in which they are involved, the responsibilities that they are supposed to be, the place in which they are placed, like school or playground or mess hall or whatever it is. That is why I decided. So today I will discuss on a topic that can ensure a well-being, that is connectedness. And we can see different domains of connectedness from various researches. It is found that connectedness to the self, the person must be connected with the self. Then connecting with others, that others including many other factors like their family, friends, then connected to the society. When the person grows, when the person coming out from the self and family to the outside world, the person starts connecting with the society. And when we think about connectedness to the self, the first thing that is required, a positive feeling about the self, that we can call as a self concept, a positive self concept. Who am I? If there is a positive question, or at least there is an answer for that question, that means the person is connected with the self. Then a consistent sense of self. In early stages, the self will be changing. Self will be in a mode like that. The person will be changing the self according to the environment in which the person is. But as the person is growing, particularly when we deal with the children, those who are crossing the adolescent stage, that is the stage in which they are developing their identity, and they must my screen, is it visible? I have changed the slide. Is it visible, the new slide?
Ma'am, the first slide only is visible.
Okay.
The one with the picture.
Now, yes, it is in full screen.
Ma'am, it is still in the not in the full screen mode, but in that mode
Huh.
only, the general mode.
Okay. Once again, I will share.
Yes, ma'am, please. Yes, ma'am.
Now, how it is?
Yeah,
It is sharing.
but yes, ma'am, but not again in the full mode, in that mode only. But yeah, the slide has changed.
Slide has changed. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, okay. Now also in the not in full screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We can see the slide relating to connectedness to the self.
Okay. Now, okay.
Same, ma'am.
Shall I continue? Just try to change this full screen. Yeah, this is the slide. Now, is it
Ma'am,
visible
maybe
now? The screen.
try the sorter view
Ah,
on the bottom left corner, because it is showing in the editable mode, not in the PPT full mode.
okay.
Slide sorter. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not shown.
No, ma'am, still the same.
Okay. 1 minute. Just 1 minute.
Yes, ma'am.
So I have tried. Okay. Shall I continue with this one?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Okay, okay. So this is connectedness to the self. These are the ways in which the different domains of connectedness are there. Then we can see what are the aspects that of connectedness to the self. Is it changed? The slide is changed to connected to the self.
Yes, ma'am. We can see the
Okay,
connected to the self slide.
along with other slides also.
Yes, ma'am. They are in the right corner.
Okay. This connectedness, I have discussed that a consistent sense of self is required. If the self is evolving, the self is something different than changing the self every day. If the person's self is changing inconsistently, that will affect in the formation of a self concept of a person. So finally the person will be confused of what the exact self is. So a consistent sense is required. There the parents, the teachers, the society, the neighborhood, the peer group, everything has a role in making that a consistent self for a person. Then the ability to be alone and to tolerate rejection and criticism. This is one of the major requirement or major development aspect that are required for children. Many times we need yesterday also the present while presenting Juhi ma'am told sometimes we will be alone but enjoying or being in that moment with the self is also important. Every time we cannot demand that someone should be there with us, but whenever we are alone, we are supposed to handle our responsibilities. We are supposed to move forward rather than being stagnant or rather than being waiting for someone. That is also part of connecting to the self. Then tolerating rejection and criticism, facing rejection. Is my assignment is rejected, if my proposal is rejected, if I am being rejected by a person, so that is the moment in which the person should not go back. That is the moment in which the person should think about moving forward, because that rejection is not the end of the life. That rejection is not the point in which the person should think about committing suicide, like that yesterday mom has told. Then facing criticism. Criticism, whenever it comes from our environment, we should consider that criticism as a stepping stone. We should take the criticism through our brain, not through our heart. If the person is trained in taking the criticism with a critical mind, with an analytical mind, the person will find out where are the points through which I can improve, rather than avoiding or rather than rejecting the opportunities for doing. You also can see in your different academic life also, if once if it is criticized by your teacher or peer, normally there is a tendency that we will try to avoid that person. We will try to avoid submitting the assignment because a submit kare to criticism aayega, like that it will be there. But if we are ready to face that criticism, if we are ready to learn from that criticism, that will be a cause for a improved self rather than a failed self. So connectedness to the self is very important. And how we can identify, I will go with single factor, how we can identify the children with that lack of connectedness. What are the aspects that we can identify? Yesterday, mom also told, as a teacher, we are not supposed to listen through the words that they tell. We have to listen through our heart, through our brain, through our eyes. We have to observe their actions. We have to observe their facial expression. We have to observe their body language. All these aspects are the ways in which we are understanding an individual. Our individual main stakeholder is the students, those who are sitting in front of us. And when we try to understand them, when we try to empathetically listening to them, there we can find out which child is connected and which child is disconnected from the self. We can see, if we give a task, yes, suddenly some children will be there raising the hand, yes mom, I can do that, I am good at doing that one, I can take the responsibility. How they can tell in that way? Because they know what are their limitations, what are their positive aspect, or what are their strength. Based on that strength and limitation, they will come forward. They will learn to manage their limitations. So this is only will happen when the person thinks about oneself, when the person is connected with the self. The next aspect that we can see, children may say nothing special about me. Yeah, tell me, children, those who are favorite of your class teacher or favorite your teachers, the child will tell all the names other than one's own name. Why? The child finds that nothing special about me to be liked by a teacher. That is the interpretation, that is the misinterpretation of the child on the teacher. Then we can see, I really like who am I am. That is, after identifying one's own abilities, one's own capability, the child is telling, yes, I am the person with these capabilities. I am the person with this limitation. I am the person can do this activity. I am the person cannot do this activity. I am the person with these many friends. I am the person whom teacher told, yes, you are good at this and you are not that much good in this aspect. So that is a self awareness of the person, it is there. Then I have special hobbies, skills, and talents. The person is identifying, the person is discovering what are the hobbies, what are the skills, what are the talents the person is having or the child is having. Is it visible the screen, this one? Yes, the person is again identifying what unique interests or skills are there that makes a person really unique. And sometimes children will come forward. Yes, mom, I will do that because I am confident in that. If you ask to draw a picture, you can try that in your school classes. You just ask your children to draw a picture about, okay, what are the special aspects or what are the specialities that you have, okay, and what makes you different from others. Many interesting ways the children will find out that they are different from others. And some children will be there, they cannot find out how I am different from others, or at least how I am similar as others, or how I can be different from others, or how I can be same as others. It is not there with some children.
जी,
Yes.
हम लोग ना अकेले अकेले सब खाते हो, टीचर से कुछ शेयर नहीं करते किसी ने।
Ma'am, some voice it is coming. Yes, I will have a good future. That is a part in which the person or the child is hopeful regarding one's own future. Yes, thinking about the future. I have a future. I have a good future. From where the child will get all this confidence or hope about the future. If a child is there in your class, why you are not studying? No, ma'am, ये पढ़ाई करने में कुछ भी फायदा नहीं. Like that, answers will be there. Why a student is giving answer like that? Because the child or the student is not at clear about there is a future for that child. For that future, the child should study now. Child must prepare oneself for the future, and the child's ability is also equally important for the future. Okay, I think still now it is not
No,
visible.
we can see, ma'am, the slide with I will have a good future.
Yeah, in this screen, I think, yeah, it is there. Yes. Then doing well in school will help in building that future. That is also a confidence the child should get. Yes, I am, if I am studying now, if I am preparing for my education now, that will help me to perform better for my future. That will, that is for my future, that is for myself only I am studying now. That confidence will come when the child is having that connection that yes, I am doing, I can do, and I have a future. Then I have to do lots of things in my school to prepare for my future. I have to do not only academics. I must have a good behavior. Yes, I must play with others. I must interact with others positively. I must listen whatever guidance my teachers are giving. I must be disciplined. I must prepare for a future career. All these thoughts will come when the child is thinking about oneself. Then some children are there, they are telling, I don't know what will affect my future. मेरे फ्यूचर में क्या क्या चीज का फायदा आएगा, क्या क्या चीज मेरा फ्यूचर को नेगेटिवली अफेक्ट करेगा. Some children are thinking in that way. Why they are thinking? They are thinking it because they are least bothered about or they don't know what all those factors are there in their life that will affect their future. And these children will be engaged in the risky activities because future में क्या problem बनकर आएगा, they are not concerned about that one. They are not at all aware about those factors. That lack of knowledge makes them engaged in many risk activities like uh, having relation with the criminal group or consuming the drugs and other substances, engaging in life threatening activities like that, riding the vehicles even without license, because they are unaware about what are the factors that may affect their future. Then in connectedness with others, the first connection, it starts from connection with the parents. Yes, who is responsible for making this connection? Because connectedness is a perception. The child is perceiving or the individual is perceiving, yes, I am connected, I am valuable, I am important, I have some space. These are perceptions. When we think about connection with the parents, who are the persons majorly responsible for making that connection? It is parents only. Because the children perceive their life as something important for parents through the activities. The activity should start from the part of the parents. As children become mature, they also will find that, yes, whatever I am doing, there is a give and effective relationship between my actions and the affection that I am getting from my parents. That cause and effective relationship. And that through that cause and effect relationship in later life, the child will frame or child will mold one's own behavior. But in early stage, when the parents are adopting different parenting styles, through that parenting styles, the child is getting that connection with the parents. Then the next important, very important aspect is the siblings. Here also, the parents are major factors. They enhance the relation with the siblings. If unhealthy comparison is there in family, if parents are partial among the siblings, they will start comparing one's position within the family. Yes, my parents like my brother or sister than me. I am not a liked person. Like that, the person's interpretations will change, and that will again will be resulted as the siblings rivalry. We can see many newses also. We can see for simple things, even for fight for the mobile or for the remote, the children attack or the siblings attack each other. These things are happening. So the root cause for that sort of enmity or rivalry between the siblings, it starts from how the parents deal with the children, how the parents treat the children, what sort of family climate that existing in the family, how they are encouraging the relationship with the sibling. Yes, if you have a chocolate, you please share with your brother and sister also, encouraging the sharing mind. You can help your sister, you ask for your help from your brothers or sisters. These are the way in which the parents can encourage the relationship with the siblings. The next important is peer group. The age mates of children from neighborhood, from school, they are very important. Connection with them, it is very important. There we can see those who have studied the theories of Erik Erikson and other theories. We can see if the child is competent enough to be in the group of peer, they will consider oneself as a contributing person. Yes, I am contributing in the peer group. They call me for playing cricket, they call me for that activity because I will contribute. But that confidence will come only when the person is being considered by the peer members. But how the person will be considered by the peer members? The person will be considered by the peer members when the person has identified one's own skills, the person has get training in one's own skill, one's person has tried to improve one's own skills and capabilities to be in the group of the peer members. And peer members will not wait for the children those who are not performing. Peer members, what they will do, if one person is not good to one's own group, they will skip this person and they will search for the other person. There is no time for them to wait. And there it is the loss of the child who cannot connect with the peer member. So it is our responsibility to have that connection. Then teachers, school connectedness, we will discuss as a separate topic. Then connected to the society. In connectedness to the society, the most important connection, it is starting neighborhood. From family, the child is stepping out and there is neighborhood is there. The society in which the child stay, the next door, even in flats, if it is in the flat, the next door of the child, it is the neighborhood. So how the child is participating in the activities in which the connection can be there. If a help is required, how the child is seeking help from others, how the child is ready to render one's own help when others are in need. If an aged person is there in the society, if the person is walking or the person is sitting, the child is sitting in garden, if he is helping, if the child is helping the person to sit there, that means the child is connected positively with the community, positively with the neighborhood. Then connection in school and connecting with the culturally different others. We will be having when the child is starting living independently, the child needs to interact with children of different genders, children of different culture. So there what is required, how we can connect with that person even if that person's culture is different from me, even if that person's religion is different from me, even if that person's way of living is different from me, even if the person's ethnicity is different from me. These skills are very much important for a social life of a child. So, in connecting with the society, connecting with community or neighborhood, connecting with the school, and connecting with the culturally different others, these aspects are very important. So, let me know on which slide I am now. Okay. Now we will see the school connectedness.
Ma'am, we can see that doing well in school and help me in the future slide.
Okay. So I think the slide share you can even stop if it is not showing properly. school connectedness we have to discuss in detail, because you people are going to interact with the students, you will be meeting students. Many occasions will be there in your school. You have to guide them properly. You have to guide family members of the children. And many complaints, the many complaints, you are, you can guide them properly if you understand what are the factors that are affecting the school connectedness of the child. School system is there. School is actually a living organism. It's a bigger system. It's an institute. Different personnels are there, starting from the administrative staff, the
Kavitha
teaching
ma'am,
staff, then the children. Yes,
can you see us? There
yes,
might
yes,
be
ma'am.
an internet connectivity problem. आपकी आवाज़ break हो रही है. Have you stopped the screen sharing?
No, 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 it is not stopped.
No, it is still showing.
So
The
shall
screen
I?
is still showing. You can
It
continue,
is
no,
showing,
ma'am.
you know,
Now it
screen is.
seems to be better. The connection seems to be better.
Okay.
Okay.
So when a child will consider oneself as a person connected to the school, the adults, teachers, administrators, caretakers are the adults there in the school. Then the peer group is there, other schoolmates, younger children are there, children of different gender will be there. And when the child perceives that, yes, all these components of the school care about the one's own learning and caring about the individuality, and the child is being supported by all these factors, the child is being supported by the school as a whole, the child is perceiving us, yes, my teachers are supportive to me, the child is perceiving that, yes, the administration is supportive to me, yes, the child is perceiving that, yes, my peer group is supportive to me, then I am belonging to the school, I am part of the school, I am a significant component of the school. How it is possible to create these feelings in a child, a sense of being cared? There, in the entire teacher education curriculum, the different paper courses are included recently, like that, understanding gender inclusion, guidance and counseling. Why all these courses are included for the teacher preparation? Because these content of the courses, the practicals that you will be doing through these courses, enabling the teachers to create all these requirements, all these necessities that are required in a school for a child. How we can make a child feel that, yes, the child is being cared. Yes, I care you. I understand you. I can understand what you are feeling or what your need is. How a teacher can communicate that? Through the actions of the teacher, through the words that the teachers use, through the body language of the teachers, administrators, whoever is there in the school. We can communicate, yes, I am here for you. If a child wanted to communicate something with the teacher with one facial expression, we can make the child discouraged. But if a teacher is welcoming the child warmly, yes, child, come here and share whatever you want to share with me. So that child will be having a feeling that, yes, I am being considered. I am being cared by the teacher, by the school. I am a required component in the school. All those things are irrespective of the academic performance or whatever the child is. We are not supposed to assess, or we are not supposed to consider a child only based on whether the child is a good performer, whether the child is very high grade academic achiever. No, these are not the factors. We have still many more years to make the child perform in all these fields. First, we want to create that the child is in the school. The child must perceive school as a place in which the child can contribute, the child can develop, the child can grow, the child can be something. In the growing or in the being mode, the child must find that yes, my school is a significant factor for helping me to be what I am and being supported. Many times they will be helpless, they may not be knowing what to do. The children, the students may not be knowing what to do. There we can extend the help, or we can extend the support for the child, because the school is facilitating for the development of children. The teachers are the facilitators for the development. How we will facilitate? By sensing where the need is, where what sort of support is required. We have to be with the children. Then belonging at school, the learner or the student must see that yes, I am part of the school, I am also a member of the school. Just to see, if a teacher calls a child by its name, yes students, please come here, instead of that, if we call yes Nisha, that makes a difference. Yes, that makes a sense in the child that yes, the teacher knows my name, the teacher knows who am I, the teacher is calling me with my name. That makes a difference in the child. So the teacher is the major component who can create that feeling of that connectedness in children. Many times we can see, next slide, is it changed? Children are hesitant to attend the school. They are not ready to go to the school. It is the responsibility of the parents to, I said, take them like a luggage and drop them in the school. Many children that we can see. There is no happy face for the child. Crying before going to the school, or they will be finding out many reasons. Paid mein dard hai, sir mein dard hai, or otherwise some reasons will be there not to go to the school. Why they are thinking in that way? Why the children are finding out reason not to go to the school? Hesitance in attending the school. Hesitating in attending the schooling means the academic activity, because all the factors that we have discussed, they are not finding out any space there. They are not thinking, yes, I can contribute in the school. They are not finding that connection in the school. They are not connected with any individual in the school. They are not connected with the process of the school. They are not connected with the activities of the school. Nothing is there to hold the child to be connected with the school. If that connection is there, morning, the child will be happily be ready to go to the school with the bag packed. Yes, I want to go to the school. Chutti bhi enjoy nahi karega, because something is there that is strongly connecting the child with the, or the learner with the school. So this is a factor that we can observe in children, that we can see children hesitance in attending the school. That shows that the child has no connection with the school. There we have to think, the parents have to think, the teachers also should think, why the child is not finding out a factor that is important to the child in the school. What can make the child attracted to the school? What can make the child connected to the school? It is the responsibility of the parent and us to think. What will hold the child in the school? Even if the teachers are telling, yes, you have to complete this work, you have to practice this, but it will come through this year and it will go like this for some children, for some students. Why it is happening? What is the reason behind that? Because for them, teachers or whoever in the school, whatever they say, it is nothing. They are not at all concerned about the guidance or the instructions of the teacher. This is one of the evidence that the child is not connected, or the student is not connected with the school, or student is not connected with the teacher. I have seen one movie in that the movie's name is Neil Bhatte Sanata. There I found that because of not doing the max problem, the teacher asked the children to stay out from the class, time out from the class. Then what the children were doing, they were not focusing on why we are out, why the teacher has punished us. No, that was not their concern. They were actually making mockery of the teacher who has made them to stand outside. They were enjoying that time out of outside classroom, because the teacher has not made any connection to the children. Through that connection, the teacher should make the academic subject also connected to the child, because teacher is a human being, child is a human being. If a human being cannot make that connection with another human being, then in the middle the content is coming. But at many times, how the teachers are doing, the human aspect of the teacher will be separated from the content. Only the content will be given to the child to connect. It is not possible, because children are human beings. We have to consider the human need to be get connected. The approach of the teacher makes that difference. The way in which the teacher explain the thing, that makes the difference. The way in which the teacher consider the children, that makes the difference. So if the child is connected with the teacher, of course, whatever instruction the teacher is giving, children will follow that instruction. Otherwise, teacher will keep on giving instruction, children will violate those instruction. Again, problem. Teacher is giving instruction, children are not following, discipline problem, it will continue in that way. We can see many children fighting with the peer group. Wherever, even if they are going to washroom, there will be one fight. Even if they are sitting in classroom, fight ho jayega. Aggressively, verbally or physically fight, they will be fighting. Using abusive words in classroom. Behaving aggressively in classroom. Not only with the peer, even with the teachers, they will be doing in that way. This is also the thing, is that the child is having a perception that I am nothing in the school. I cannot contribute in the school. I am not a valued person in this school. I am not a liked person in this school. That wrong perceptions made the child to be aggressive rather than being an assertive person in the school. This child is trying to cover up whatever the lack of that participation the child is having within the mind. The child is trying to cover up with the aggressive behavior the child is showing within the classroom, outside the classroom, even in playground. We can see children like this in many of the schools. You must have seen whenever you were doing your internship. Many children will be there. If they want a pen, how they are asking with the other children, that shows that how they are considering their classmates, how they are considering the school. If a need is there, how they are communicating. Are they ready to communicate? That is the first thing. If they are ready to communicate, that means yes, they are considering. How they are communicating, that shows, are they considering the members or the personals of the school in a positive way, or as simple enemies? That is showing through their way of communication. Then, no interest in studies. Parents will change the children from school to school because the child is not performing. Why the child is not performing? There we have to come to the first point. The child is not concerned about who am I or what I should be. There is no concern. If the child is aware about that, yes, I have a future. For that future, I have to prepare. मेरे future के लिए I have to prepare. I have to study. I have a family. They love me. They like me. And in future, my family, it is my responsibility. I have to take care of my family. For that, I must be prepared. If a child is having all these knowledge, if the child is aware about these aspects, or at least if the child is concerned about these aspects, then only the child will be interested in the studies. Otherwise, child will think, why I'm studying? अच्छा मार्क मिले तो क्या है? कुछ भी नहीं. मार्क नहीं मिले तो भी क्या है? रिपोर्ट कार्ड लेने के लिए मेरे पेरेंट्स विल कम, द टीचर्स विल टेल समथिंग टू माय पेरेंट्स. इसमें क्या है? If my parents are sitting in front of the teacher and if the teacher is telling your child is not performing better, I don't have anything. Like that attitude will be there with the children if they are not connected with all the things, not connected with the self. Self is nothing for the child. The next is family or the parents. Parents are nothing for the child because there is no connection. The school, yes, I want to perform. I want to be a good child in front of my teacher. I want to be a better child in the classroom. I must be appreciated by the teachers, students appreciated by the teachers. If that need is there, of course, the child will try to perform better. The child will try to improve one's own behavior. And we can see whatever interested activities are there in classroom. Many interested activities. Then also sometimes the children are not showing any happiness in that. Every time their face will be like that. Hey, kya boring चीज है. टीचर ने कुछ टीचिंग लर्निंग मटेरियल लेकर भी क्लास में आया, वो क्या करते हैं वहां पे? कुछ भी नहीं है. बोरिंग, टाइम वेस्टिंग. Because the child or the learner is not finding anything interesting about the studies. The child doesn't want to connect oneself in that moment of learning. The child doesn't want to study. The child doesn't want to help the learning process of others also in the classroom. Then the child will, sometimes children will openly tell, oh, kya boring? ये पूरा पढ़ाई तो boring है. And sometimes some children, they will not tell it openly, but their body language will sing. A sleepy feeling. Oh, boring hota hai, sleepy feeling aata hai. Otherwise, they will be doing some other activity when the teacher is teaching. All these things are happening when the child is not finding out any interest, any sort of connection in the activities that are going in the classroom. Then, restless in class. There is lack of concentration. Many children are there, those who are having the problem of the attention deficit disorder, their case is different. But some children are there, everything is perfect, but they cannot focus on the academics. They will be completely restless. They cannot focus on the activities that are going in classroom. They cannot focus on their responsibility. They cannot take the responsibility. Completely restless. If it's telling they will have that what is going in class and more focus in achievement. They not focus on the children, those who are having a lack of connection with the school, with the process of the school. Focus on achievement. From where it is starting? It is not starting from the school. It might have started from the family. There is no connection with the parents. There is no connection to the self. There is no connection on achievement. That is why yes, just I was checking my connection. Am I audible properly?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We can hear you.
Okay. So this lack of focusing on achievement, because naturally all the creatures wants to grow. Even if we keep a plant indoor inside our home, it will start growing by searching the sunlight. Wherever the sunlight is possible, it will automatically, it will start growing. That is the rule of nature. Nature has made each and every creature to grow positively. But if something is making the person to decide that I don't want to grow, I don't want to develop, there are some factors from the environment. That environment can be the family, that environment can be the society, that environment can be the school. These factors are blocking the person or making the person to think that I cannot grow, I am not good in growing, I cannot achieve, I cannot develop. There we need to consider, or we need to analyze what all those factors are there that is prohibiting, interfering for the child in achieving. It can be the physical factors. If the child's physical factors prevents the child from achievement, here there also, this is the time in which the universal achievement all must be included in the education process, irrespective of whatever their other needs are. We have to facilitate for that achievement. If the child is not trying to achieve because of lack of interest, there we need to find out. The teachers and the parents need to find out why at this age, this child coming from this family, children of this parent, is not interested in the process or the academic achievement. Oh, because all these factors are important. That makes the child not focusing on the process of academic or the process of achievement. It is our responsibility. The schools are not to teach the children who are highly performing. A child is highly performing. Again, to make the child highly performing, there is no need of a teacher. If a child is in your class, not focused, not interested in study, not achieving, if you can make that child improving or progressing, then you are teaching the class. Otherwise, just you are guiding. The child has connection with the school, the person, with the family. Even if a teacher is not directly involving there, the child will find out a way to study. But our intention is, as teacher, our focus must be on those who cannot study along with others. We are not supposed to sideline those who are performing. We have to hold their hands also. We have to help them to grow more. We have to help them to be in a sustainable or a sustained mode of performance. It is also required. But a teacher's or the school's real need is required for the individual, those who are facing difficulties or perceiving the education process or the world itself as a difficult one. It's our responsibility to change that interpretation. whatever is learned from childhood onwards, it is only learning, and something that you must have studied, that stimulus response connection must have happened. Yes, when I was giving an answer, teacher told you are wrong. When I told another answer in another classroom, again the teacher told you are wrong. So the wrong made me totally perceiving oneself as a wrong person. That is a learning happened, it is conditioned. So here we can unlearn that learning, we can make that wrongly learned thing in a positive way. You are not wrong. Whatever you have done, that answer only was wrong. You are not wrong. The answer that you are giving, there some improvement is required, but you are a child who is capable at least to give that wrong answer. That sort of support, if we can give, if the education system can give to the children, those who are there in our classroom, these children will be connected first to the subject. The pride that makes an individual, yes, valuable to oneself. Yes, I am a good one, I am a contributing person. I am a contributing person. That is why my family is also accepting me. They are very happy to come for the PTM meeting because I have achieved. My teachers will be having something positive to share with my parents, and their teachers also should tell. Many times in PTM meeting, it's a bad habit with the teachers that whatever negative things that are there with the children, the teachers will collect all those things to share with the parents. No, even wherever area, whatever area in which the improvement is required, that we can present in a mode in which that is not affecting the child. Yes, the child is facing problem in mathematics, there is a problem. What is the reason behind that? If the child is not performing in mathematics, if the child is not performing in mathematics, it is coming responsibility. This is the responsibility of the teacher also. Why the child is not performing? Because the child is not teaching, the teacher is not teaching the child the way the child can understand, the way the child can achieve. Show one finger, back is 30 fingers, is only the teacher. Because yes, the failure, it is the teacher's failure. We have not tried all the ways through which we can make the child at least to have a 10% perception that yes, I can achieve. If in this year I have achieved in this way, in next examination or next year, I can do because I am improving, I am progressing. That feeling, a teacher, only a teacher
Yes, sorry for the
Okay, the
mismatch.
technical issues.
Yeah, ma'am. I'm really
Yeah,
sorry.
so we have to expect such sort of things during the online sessions.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is also part of our learning. It will happen. So I was discussing what was the point last. I was there on StreamYard. Can anyone help me?
Anchors, what was the last point ma'am was talking about? The last you could hear?
Okay, I will continue anyway.
Yes, ma'am.
Till now, is there any doubts or any comments? So after completing that one, we can proceed to the conclusion.
No question or comments as of now, ma'am. Ma'am, your mic is off. Kavitha, ma'am.
Continue.
Huh. No comments or question as of now.
Okay, okay. So I was discussing about how the school connectedness. What are the ways in which we can identify that? Yes, a child is having problem in connecting with oneself with the school. So I have discussed some aspects like what we can observe with the child. That is, the child is hesitant in going school. There is no interest in performing academic achievement, that academic activities. There is a fight, a continuous fight with the peer group. There is no focus on the academic achievement, and the child is not ready to follow the instructions, whatever instructions the teachers are giving. There is no consideration or concern by the child to those instructions and directions. Those things are showing that the child lacks a
सुन लेते जा
connectedness school.
फिर बोलो
Yeah,
बोलो
Vijay, you are telling something. Then we can see a restless child. Restless child means a child with lack of focus or lack of concentration in the class. That also because of the child is not connected with the different components of schooling, like that the personals of the school, the activities of the school, the process of the school, and the procedure of the school. That is why the child is showing that lack of connectedness. Then uh, these points I have discussed. So, why this connectedness is important? Many researchers are also there that shows that the school connectedness is very important aspect, particularly for the children, for younger children or the children of the adolescent age. The school connectedness is the factor that prevents them from many future danger situation and building their future. And it is important for their health also. Health is the physical health, because if the child is connected with the school, the child will actively participate in all the activities that keeps the child healthy physically, mentally, and spiritually, because the child is having a positive perception. The child will behave with others very positively. The child will get appreciation. The child will get connected with the peer group positively. All those things are contributing for a healthy existence of the child in the school. Then educational performance. The child's educational performance is the preparation for the future. So that educational performance will be there when the child is connected with the school. Then social competence, because school is a social system in which the child is getting opportunity to interact with children of different age, children of different gender, children coming from different background, children those who are performing better than the child and poor than the child or equal to the child. How the child is interacting with all these peer members or all these personals within the school, that is actually a training platform for the child to behave or to live comfortably in the social situation. The social competencies that are required to completely live in a social setting, the child is getting from the complete engagement, complete involvement, complete connection to the school or with the school. So that is why school connectedness is having positive outcomes related to health, physical, mental, spiritual, social, all these health aspects are connected with the school connectedness, then educational performance, the social competence. Then how we can make the child or make the student connected to the school? How it is possible? The first important aspect, the very high need of the time, that is being inclusive. The school must have a culture of inclusion. In the school, different types of children will be there. Some are performers, some are non-performers. Children with the different abilities will be there. Children with varying performance will be there. Children coming from different socio-economic background will be there. How much we are giving opportunity in an equitable manner in a school, that makes the child feels that yes, I am a person who is being valued in the school. I am a person who is significant in the school. I am a person who is important in my school. I am a person whose achievement, whose behavior, whose existence in the school is important, or it will affect the school. All these perceptions will come with in the mind of the child only when, if the child is feeling that I am included in the school. That practicing of an inclusive culture, it is very much important for creating a sense of connectedness among the children. Whatever their performance is, all children must be valuable, or children must be valued in the school. The child may be performer, the child may be a non-performer, but it is only related to a particular area only. The child who is performing in maths may not be performing in other scholastic activity. A child will be there a good athlete but not performing in academic activity, but the child is a good athlete. We have to consider that child. Then closeness means how we are creating the environment in the school like that to connect with the system more closely. Here the teachers can make the situations like that. Instead of giving individual activities, what the teacher can do, teacher can make meaningful groups for different activities. Students can be in group, they can learn from each other, like they can discuss with each other. These group activities will help the children to have a feeling that yes, I am connected, I am closed with others. And when we you can even apply, you can see in the your classroom which child is a lonely child, which child is not having a connection. You must have studied about a different sociometric technique you can apply in your classroom. Through the sociometric technique, you can identify who is having that perception of regarding the class or peer members, that the child is not a part of that class. You apply different sociometric technique, find out who is a star of the class, who is a lonely child of the class, who is having different, only the permanent groups will be there. The children will be sitting together in class, children will be going to washroom together, children will be having food, children will be going to the single society, single will be playing there also together, like that. Some cliques also will be there, like that, a group, small groups. And some are there, they will make the pair, okay, एक दूसरे से सिर्फ बात करेगा, इसके अलावा कुछ कोई भी नहीं. It is a closed thing. So there we have to identify what is the social relationship pattern within the classroom. After identifying the social relationship pattern within the classroom, the teacher can restructure the group system in the class. If a star child is there, the star child means the child who is being accepted by others as most favorable one based on some task. Make the child a lonely child to interact with this star child. Then next very important aspect is the child deriving happiness out of schooling or only disappointment and unhappiness? That is very important. What should be the outcome of learning? After learning, the child should feel happy that yes, it is useful for me. I have learned these things through a joyful method. I have enjoyed the process of learning. That is why the child will learn. Child should learn the schooling as a activity, an activity that is giving happiness. There was a international teacher award function, the teacher who got award as the best teacher. So there was a question from the audience that what was the nature of your teacher teaching in your classroom? So the answer of the teacher was, I focus on the aspects like that. After learning, my children must be happy, and I am giving ownership of learning to my children, and I am making the children active in my classroom. These things make my children with a better learning. That is why I am here as a best teacher. That was the answer by a teacher who won the award for a best teacher. So happiness should be there after a process of learning, because we like happiness only. Our brain like happiness only. Would you like to do an activity that gives you pain? Because our brain that doesn't like pain. Our brain doesn't will not repeat an activity that gives only pain. Our brain would like to repeat an activity that gives us happiness. Then only our brain will give a command that yes, you do that activity. So whose responsibility to make the learning more happy? The outcome of the learning must be happiness, or the process of learning must be happy. Whose responsibility in school? It is the responsibility of the teacher in the planning, the activities the teacher adopts. That makes to make the children happily engaging in the process of learning, actively engaging in the process of learning. The children should feel that yes, I have done this activity. The teacher is not done for me. I have done, and this is the learning that is the product of my effort. That ownership is also making the child feel happy in the process of the schooling process or in the process of education. Then safety at school, it is very important. Safety from the bullying people, safety from the threatening environment, physical and mental environment. If the child is not feeling comfortable while sitting in classroom, there the child is having some concerns about the safety. So we have to think what actually makes the child insecure in the classroom. Is it the approach of the teacher? Is it the behavior of the peer group? Is it the infrastructure? The child wanted to do some activity, but the child fears that, okay, my peer or others may bully me because of my body structure is like this. That is an insecurity feeling of the child. That we have to be sensitive to those aspects. Safety means not only the physical safety. Safety is emotional safety. Safety is infrastructural safety. Safety is physical safety. All these aspects that we need to consider. It is there in your curriculum also, the POXO and the different laws. So you must be well aware about all those things. What all those insurance that we have to give regarding the safety of children in school, that we must know that aspect. Then meaningful participation at school, that the point that I have discussed once. Each and every child in the class must feel that yes, I am a part of the learning process. I am contributing. I have a role in the process of learning process. How we can redesign the classroom structure to make a sense that each and every individual of that class is having a feeling that I am participating in the learning process. That is the skill of the teacher. There comes the intelligence of the teacher. There comes the preparedness of the teacher. That meaningful, making the learning through meaningful participation in the process of schooling. It is the responsibility of the teacher or the administrator. Teacher cannot alone do in that way. If the teacher is doing, if the teacher is teaching total 8 period, if the teacher is teaching, the teacher is not having any sufficient number period, time period to prepare or to plan, the teacher cannot do. If the teacher is not having sufficient resource in the school, the teacher cannot do. So this is actually collaborative and a collaborative activity of all the components of the school, including administrators, to help the teacher to make the classroom activity more meaningful to the children. What makes the child actively participate meaningfully in the classroom? Because it may vary according to the age. Whatever is meaningful for a first standard child will not be meaningful for a child who is sitting in the class 7. That child's experience is different. That child exposure is different. That child interaction with others is different. So its meaning also will be different. So we have to find out what makes more meaningful for the children of different age group when we are teaching content, when we are doing co-scholastic activity. If there is no meaningful participation, the child cannot connect oneself with the process of learning. When if we ensure the school connectedness in a positive way, surely we can contribute a strong generation, a future generation of youth with autonomy, because they have a feeling, they have a perception that yes, I am capable enough to do this, and they are competent. They will be showing their competency, and they will be having that developmentally appropriate. They can show the roles. This school connectedness is a base to create a generation like that. And here, how we can do, what is the role of the teacher, what is the role of administration? We have to collaboratively connect with the family. Community resources will be there. Many times we need to arrange many programs from outside. Counselors will be there, therapeutics will be there. If the teachers, they doesn't know what actually the inclusion is, there the persons from the field of inclusive education should come and educate not only the teacher and even the parents and the administrators regarding how we can make the system more inclusive. That is required. And each and every staff of the education system must be empowered to facilitate for this meaningful connection of each and every learner to the educational system. Families also must be educated, because teachers are the direct person interacting with the students. They are the mentors. Teachers are observing children every day. Through that one, the teachers will identify anecdotal record. You have to learn how to make the anecdotal record when you are going to the classroom, when you are writing on board what these children were doing, when you are teaching, or continuously if you are observing a specific behavior that shows that the child was not actively participating in the process of the activity or classroom activity, you have to note down what the child was doing when the all children were playing in playground, what that specific child was doing. These records will help you to connect or to guide the parents. Yes, these are the ways in which I have observed the child. Then interact with the parents. How the child is behaving in family. How the child is interacting with the family members. These are the inputs for the teachers to plan the activity or the educational process for both, not only for the child, for even for the family members also. Because many times the parents, they may not be knowing how to deal with the child. If a child comes with some concern, mama, I want to share whatever things that has happened in my classroom. One child was telling about me. So many times parents are only interested in knowing वहां पे क्या पढ़ाई हुआ है, क्या टीचिंग हो रहा है वहां पे. But many parents are not at all interested in how the child is living in that school. It is not the concern of many of the parents. How the child is connected with the peer group. The parent must get education in that aspect, that schooling is also a life. There the child must not only get the academic life, the child must have that social life, the child must have that recreational life, the child must have cognitive life. Everything is there. The child must enhance all the skills that are required to be in all these aspects. Then parent can inquire about, okay, who all were your friends today, and while playing in ground, yeah, what happened in ground, yeah, how you have helped the other children. In that way, the parents also should start interacting with the children. That will help the parent also, the child also, to share many concerns they must be having regarding in their schooling. So it is very important. So therefore, this aspect, the parents may not be aware about this aspect. Instead of telling about only the child is not performing the mathematics, the child is not good in, the child is not following our instructions, we have to help the parents how both this component, like that the school, the parents and the community together can help each and every child to perform better, or to find out the real self within them. That is only possible if we plan accordingly. Then many times we are thinking about presently what the child is not doing. Why the child is not doing, it is not our concern. At the time of examination, when answer scripts are there, at that time we are thinking about, yes, the child is not writing properly, the child is not writing the answers. But with the same teacher must be checking, must have checked the notebook of the child for 1 year. The same teacher was seeing the child in the classroom for 1 year. That teacher didn't think what skill or what competency is lacking in this child. The teacher have not spared even a single moment. Many teachers are like that. I am not telling that all the teachers are like that, but wherever the children are learning happily, their teachers are identifying these aspects. Where or what skill the child is lacking, or how I can help the child to build that skill. If in higher class, if the child is not writing properly, where is the problem? The child is lacking the literary skills. So we have to start from there. We have to deal the problems of present problems in a diagnostic manner. Different diagnostic test we need to do. We have to identify in which aspect the child needs special assistance, that assistance to be given. And in case even after a repeated attempt to help the child, then of course we have to approach the special educator or the persons who can help the children with a special need. They will help the teachers. So it is the responsibility of the entire education system not to make a feeling of a child in that I am a failure, I am a person who cannot contribute. Yes, at least if we are making, creating a sense that yes, I am a person, I can also contribute in my own level. That is the responsibility of the teacher, as that is the entire meaning of education itself. Making the child feels that yes, I am existing here positively. While concluding, I would like to yeah, 2 3 points are there. That is classroom management. Many times classroom management, the teachers or the even in the training time also, the teachers are least concerned about classroom management. What sort of classroom management system that we need to arrange? The rules, The system must be set in advance. What the children can follow or what the children should not do in the classroom, make it clear, and make the children are also part of creating rules for their classroom. Yes, in this classroom, the reporting time is this one. We have to arrange my books and everything in this way. Let the children create the rules. Based on that rule, if it is violating, what should be next? Let the children decide that one. So if the children knows what should not be done, if the children know what will be the after effect if it is not followed, then they will not try to break up all those things. They will try to follow, because these are the rules that are made by me only. So it is my responsibility to follow these rules that I have made. If a positive classroom management is there, a democratic classroom management is there, if a child is having a concern, if the child he has that opportunity to open that to the teacher, yes ma'am, ma'am, I'm not understanding what you have explained now. If a teacher encourages such interactions in the classroom, that is communicating the needs, that means the teacher is setting a positive classroom environment, not suppressing, but certain rules should be there. When the child can raise that doubt, when the child can raise the concern, that we can set the rule. Yes, after I am completing my teaching, those who are having any concern, please share, please ask. Those who know better about this content, this is the time in which everything is on the fingertip of the children. You know? Google will give everything. The content that the teacher is teaching, that may be old for the child, because the child must have referred an advanced form from the net. The child must have read a book like that. So give an opportunity for a child to express that also. Whoever knows more aspects related to this content, please share it now, so that will create a positive environment in the class, that yes, the child will get an opportunity to express oneself. We can avoid the misbehavior or disrupting behavior in the classroom, because the child who finds that I don't have much to learn from this situation or from this context, nothing new in what the teacher is teaching, what the child will do, the child will start distracting the class, or the child will start withdraw from the class. We can avoid both these things if we encourage the child to share, or the learner to share whatever they additionally do. And that may be a learning opportunity for the teacher also. We can learn from that. Many times we can learn many things from the children, because in they are well advanced than the teachers. Use that opportunity to learn from the teachers. Then professional training. You are fortunate enough, many of the prospective teachers, those who are attending the session, you are fortunate enough because your curriculum is having sufficient input and courses that is enabling you to be a better teacher. Only you need to internalize properly. You need to prepare yourself by understanding the core values behind putting these courses to for you in your curriculum. Then you will be a successful teacher for your future career. And create a trusting and caring relationship. First is connection with the teacher and the taught. Then through that connection, connect the content with the taught. That is the thing required. Then giving the content first and connecting. That is also possible, but the children varies. Children needs also vary. According to that one, we have to change the process. What should be the first? You must have done establishing rapport in the classroom. Why that establishing rapport in the classroom is very important? Because there we need to set an environment in which the child is ready to learn. So that readiness through a trusting and a cared relationship is very much important. In that relationship, the child must be ready to communicate whatever the concern is there. The child must communicate with the teachers, because present days many times the family, there will be split family, there will be single parented family, There will be someone will be abusing the child on the way to the school. There will the child is facing many other threats from the environment. If we create an environment in which the child can communicate anything with the teacher, then those children will come to the teacher and will share, mom, I am facing that problem, that person has told that thing to me, the person was forcing me to sit with him at that time. So we can avoid many problems that are happening. No children will get abused if the teacher has that observation and encouraging the open communication in classroom. If the teacher has created a trusted relationship, it is not only the teacher, it is starting. If we are giving an opportunity for each and every child, those who are having a concern, come to the principal, share it with the principal. Okay, why we are blocking? We are not supposed to block the communication. We have to encourage the communication, because as the national education policy says, what says national education policy? The teachers are the heart of the education process. We are the heart. We can understand the feeling. We have the curing capacity of that wounds that must have happened for children from different environment. We have to utilize our skills and competencies, not to make a child feels that I am a failure, but we have to make a feeling within the child that yes, I am a successful individual, and I will contribute, and I will build up my future. That is the role of a teacher in the world in which all are disconnected, even if we are connected through only some digital devices. So it is our responsibility to make that connectedness among our students to the world around them, including family, the peer group, the society, the neighborhood, the teacher, and the school. It is our responsibility. So that is from my end.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your words of wisdom. First and foremost, I thank our special guest, Dr. Kavitha Karun ma'am, who, despite of her busy schedule, has found time for us. And we are grateful to our principal, ma'am, Dr. Abhilasha Gautam ma'am, for her support for this event and making this event successful. My heartfelt thanks to convener Ms. Juhi Beduri ma'am, Assistant Professor AI, and Mr. Yogesh Kumar sir, co-convener, for this valuable contribution, guidance, and the encouragement in all our efforts. I owe special gratitude to the faculty members and non-teaching staff for making this event successful. Last but not the least, I thank my fellow student teachers for your cooperation. Once again, I thank you all. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Amisha, for your wonderful anchoring. Thank you, Juhi ma'am. Thank you, Principal ma'am, Dr. Abhilasha ma'am, and the management for considering me and giving me this opportunity. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am.